Hey there, I'm Rayan.
I'm Wilf.
I'm Ivan.
And tonight, well, they've done it again. It's the greatest finale in the history of the Traitors, and we're here to go all over it. Welcome to episode 60 of It's Just a Game.
Oh, fuck it. I've watched 16 cash builder missions.
Hello and welcome to episode 60 of It's Just a Game, the podcast where we watch reality TV so you don't have to. In each episode, we dissect the winning strategies, the maddest moves, and the best moments of your favourite reality TV shows. This time, it's time to close a chapter, and what a chapter, as we go over the last week on the Traitors UK. My name is Rayan, and I have a huge amount of beef against Studio Lambert, the BBC, and Claudia Winkleman in that order. Stay tuned to find out why. Joining us every day is the man who knows better, the guy who just understands how to play the game as a traitor. It's Ivan. Hello, Ivan. Hello.
I got so confused. I thought you were talking about me.
What? I don't know how to play the game. What are you talking about?
I'm switching it up.
All right, fine. Hey, I've got beef with you, Rayan. It's the way you say the number 60. Because if you say 60, I expect you to close that with an N, like 16, you know? But you say 60.
I just like to keep you on your toes.
Episode 60. It's like, is it 6D? Is that what you're saying? Is that the size of your bra?
No, it's specifically to keep people listening. I start saying 60 and then they have to stay long to find out if I'm saying 60 or 16. That one extra second.
Literally anything to get people to listen to one more second of the podcast.
Also joining us here is the man who's now become the fourth best traitor in the history of the Traitors.
Oi.
It's Wilf. Hello, Wilf.
I don't agree with that at all. I'd put myself clear third.
Yeah, actually, you're third because Harry wasn't that good.
No, hang on. Harry said he was the best traitor in the world. He can't have been lying.
Rachel, harry me. Rachel, harry me, Stephen. That's how it goes.
No. Now, we'll jump right in, but first, be warned, we are entering a spoiler zone.
Spoiler zone.
If you haven't seen the entirety of Series 4 on the Traitors UK, there are spoilers ahead, so if you don't want to be spoiled, well, good fucking luck. Ivan, you know the drill. Tell us what's happened. This is the podcast where we watch reality TV, so you don't have to. Ivan, summarise the episode. Go.
Episode 10. At Brekkie, James says he wants the dagger, and then he only goes and bloody gets it. Yeah. The traitors want him to double stab Matt. Matt immediately calls out how stupid he'd be to give it to James, but James's suspicions are on him are only emboldened. Under pressure, Matt says if he's banished, then the traitors will have voted for him too. A clever attempt to repel votes, and it scares Stephen. The mission is a spinny, musical chairs, bear rip. Jack wins a shield. Everyone wins a headache. Back at the castle, Roxy tearfully seeks assurances from bestie Rachel that it's not her, but that sets off Faraz and Jack suspecting her too. Back at the roundy tea, Matt once again attacks Jade. James makes it clear his two votes are going for Matty, so the question is, who will jump on that sharp bandwagon? Roxy builds an argument on James. Did he give himself the dagger? The table descends into chaos as they argue over James and Matt, but the votes fall onto Matt, exactly as the traitors had planned. James is in hotter water than a langoustine. Afterwards, Faraz brings up Rachel, listing some very valid points. She joins James in the hot water. Ooh, it's a hot tub now. The walls are closing in. Rachel tells Stephen she won't not talk about him. Stephen's shaken, and then they have to decide between Roxy and Faraz. Episode 11. Stephen starts the day right by talking with Jack about Rachel. Their alliance, is it over? Roxy is murdered, not banished. In the kitchen, Stephen continues to pile onto Rachel. Everyone is under suspicion, TVQH. The mission is a hill-climbing yellow rock forage. If they can collect enough to fill a shield, the traitors lose their last murder. Gosh, a sabotage twist. James exerts himself to the point of pulling a Rayan and vomiting all over the set. Predictably, they block the murder. So it's James, because of last night, and Rachel. In an eloquent round table, the players go back and forth, but James's defense is a bit panicky. Why has he copied Jack's vote every time? Did he give himself the dagger? Faraz won't give up on Rachel, so she dunks Stephen right in it and his cage release. And he fires back. But when it comes to the vote, Stephen steadies the ship for a 3-3 tie. In a revote, Jack switches to James, but James switches to Rachel. Bring out the chests of charge! Episode 12, James is banished, announces he's a traithful. So with 2 traitors left, they have numbers, but the faithful won't stop banishing. Rachel, once again, socials her way to making Faraz think she's faithful. Has she escaped? Not if she keeps saying, if I was a faithful. We get highlights reels. We lose concentration. I go make tea. But once I'm back, Jade's sharing her theory with Stephen that it's Rachel and Faraz. Faraz tells Rachel it's Jade and Stephen. Have we got two sides, each captained by a traitor? The mission is a boaty smoke chase followed by a medium ladder and a big silly descent down the other side. Faraz approaches Jack with a plan. Jade, then Rachel, then Stephen. And at the round table, it comes down to Stephen, rubbing out names, but he sticks with Rachel and backstabs his ally Jade. It's 2-2, but Stephen's switch is super sus. With Jack gunning for Rachel and Faraz gunning for Stephen, all the traitors have to do is stick together and they'll win. In the endgame, Claudia displays her excellent aim. Stephen too doesn't miss, joining Rachel to vote for Raz. The traitors outnumber the faithful. This time, Stephen already knows he's won, but out of his own form of faithfulness, honour amongst thieves, he votes Jack, completing the traitors' landslide. For the first time in UK traitors history, 2 traitors have won the game. And that's where we are now.
I'm happy with that.
Oh, yeah!
That was a beautiful ending. Let's jump right in. Let's start with the ending because how brilliant. This felt like I felt quite emotional watching this because it was straight out of Shakespeare. This was just beautiful. And I think what happens is you've got this stark contrast between what people usually expect when you've got a traitor ending, where, you know, it's sadness, it's despair, it's faithful feeling betrayed. But actually here we're dealing with the most faithful of traitors. Yeah. And because of that, you have something absolutely beautiful. You've got joy in the traitor win. It's such a stark contrast. And you think about how Series 2 ended, how Harry won the show, and it was just sadness. And it was just like kind of awkward and comfortable to watch. This was beautiful. Wilf, what's your take on this?
I was really emotional as soon as I heard Experience, and it's one of my favourite songs. It's called Experience, and it's an amazing song.
Is it?
Yeah, an amazing song.
Yeah, lovely.
So I started crying because I cry a lot. I get anything. And I'll be completely honest, I got to a point where I really believed Rachel couldn't win.
Yeah.
And the thing is, the worst thing is, I was on Radio 5 Live 3 days ago going, Rachel has the social clout that she's never going to lose, blah, blah, blah. Then a day after, I'm on another radio show going, she can't win.
At least you covered your bases, Wilf. I mean,
but honestly, it was amazing. And I wanted the traitors to win slightly, right for Raz, but he let me down. He let me down a little bit.
He didn't let you down. He never showed up. Like, he had some good theories. I think it was such a satisfying win because what we saw was that foreshadowing in episode -5. It was so long ago where they went, I will never vote for you. I will never vote for you. 2 traitors had never won in the UK. And do you know what? They stuck with it. And we as a 3 all said they're going to break that. And they didn't.
In my mind, I thought one of them's going to break it. And I changed. I went from Rachel to Stephen, and then they actually stuck to it. So that was beautiful. And the fact is, Rachel is the best traitor that's ever lived.
Yeah, absolutely. I think the reason why they put that in was to make you constantly question, will they, won't they, right? That was the whole point of it. And as we went further and further and we began to see the relationship break down between Rachel and Stephen, I have to talk about you. I have to talk about you. Yeah. And you even saw Stephen saying to Claudia, this could go 2 ways. Honestly, can we give a single clap to the editing team? Because this narrative was rolled out in the most magnificent, luxurious way. What a story. Oh my God. Can we just do it right now? Single clap.
Let's do a single clap.
3, 2, 1.
No, look, at no point could I have seen the ending coming, and that's how good the edit was. Every time Stephen was about to reveal his slate, I thought, oh, he's finally going to put Rachel's name down on there. In that final round table, I genuinely could have bet my house on this. Although my landlord wouldn't have been very happy about that because I don't own the house, but still.
Yeah, you rent it, don't own it.
Yeah.
So. I think what was really incredible about this ending as well was when they got rid of Roxy, that was a massive question mark. Like, yes, it doesn't immediately lead back to them. But the reason why it doesn't lead back to them is because she is a number in the final 5. As soon as they got rid of Roxy, I was texting Ken, lovely Ken Cheng, friend of the show from the Genius game, and he was like, massive blunder. And I agree with that.
I thought it was a mistake.
I agree with that. If and only if they plan to backstab each other. If they have total trust that they're both making it to the final 5, then they don't need Roxy quite so much. Now, the question is, who's a better kill at that point? Even Faraz, which is the only other legitimate kill and murder candidate, leads straight back to Rachel in the same way that killing Jesse led back to Stephen. You can't keep running that gauntlet and winning it. And in the end, that kill of Roxy was crucial. It meant their team was down, but it actually meant that Rachel in the final 5 could say, there's no one on my team. I couldn't be a traitor. There's no one here to back me up. It all fell in her favor in the most amazing way. And once again, her social clout wins out.
I have to say here, I feel like there's a bit of luck though in that, because I still think murdering Roxy was a mistake. They got away with it, but I'm still convinced that Faraz was the right choice, because Roxy, you could have easily taken to the final and had to vote whatever way you wanted, let's be honest.
Yeah.
So, I think they just made it a bit harder for themselves, harder than it had to be, really.
An element of survivorship bias in Ivan's opinions here, I think, yeah.
But honestly, just a beautiful victory.
Yes.
Now, let's track back a little, because we do have a whole week of episode to review, and I want to get back to the beginning. Let's start with the knife to sort of double vote. They give it to James. They think he's going to cause some damage. The first thing I want to say here is Matty does a great bit of gameplay. He says, well, look, now surely I have to be a faithful because the traitors know already that James was going to come for me. And if I'm a traitor, I wouldn't be giving the knife to somebody who's definitely coming for me. So the traitors giving James a double vote is an attempt to make sure Matt goes tonight. It's almost a guarantee Matt's a faithful. And obviously nobody really paid attention to that theory, but I thought that was genius.
I really agree with you. It's a kind of a post-truth thing where, we've done bluffs and double bluffs and triple bluffs and quadruple bluffs. And everything we've seen in this series kind of shows that forget the meta of whether it's right to kill someone who's really suspicious of you or not or anything else. We're at a point now where every bluff is a double bluff. Every time you think of a strategy, the opposite is also true.
Yeah.
And so just in this case, like with Stephen and Jesse, like with every other decision the traitors made here, it is just as valid to do one thing as to do its opposite. So Matty saying, I would never have done this, is exactly what he would say if he had. And I think this maybe is a place we've got to with the show now. The meta is now basically both are true at all times.
Yeah.
And everything is also false at all times. And every traitor's action is also the perfect and the worst traitor's action. And this was a great example of that. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, it's always a double bluff, but it's never a double bluff.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. It's so tough. And Rayan, you were also right that Matty tried something and it was interesting. And actually, the more you look at Matty's game, he tried some really interesting things.
Yeah.
5 minutes later than that, he did that thing where he was like, well, if anyone votes for me, look at them to see if they're a traitor. It didn't. Stephen hated it and he brought it up at the round table, but it was an interesting move. It was like, yeah, I'm scared of voting for you now. And Jade didn't vote for him. So that was kind of interesting. So Matty, his ideas didn't work, right? But he had some great ones.
Yeah. And I guess it takes me to a more general point. I've got to say, I'm really enjoying the twist this season. They've done something this season which I've really started to notice, which is there's been a lot of ways in which the traitors have been forced to make these difficult decisions that the faithfuls can analyze. They've given a lot of visible biscuits, a lot of crumbs to the faithfuls, which has, I think, really balanced the game in favor of the faithfuls. Which one is brilliant, and 2 makes the traitors win even stronger. I've really liked that.
Yeah, I mean, I think the best twist of the season by a long way was the questions in the church.
Yeah.
Because it meant that both Harriet and Matty could devise their own strategies and follow them through. It led to 2 really amazing narratives. Now, neither worked for the faithfuls, but as a twist, it was brilliant. And watching the traitors navigate that was really, really great. The secret traitor twist, for me, that was more for the viewers than the players. But some of the other twists they had were great. And also, having them mid-series rather than the end of the series. Love it.
Should we circle back to the faithfuls for a minute and just sort of start talking about the remaining faithfuls in that last week of episode? Because we get to see them a lot more than we did at the beginning of the series. And I think it's a lot of them set themselves apart. Let's start with Roxy. I feel bad for Roxy. We said it last week, but this week she really gets a rough edit. she's got bits of good logic sometimes. Like at one point, she's so close. She says, "Oh yeah, Jade would be a great traitor because she's get people who consider her 100% faithful close to her." And I'm just like, Roxy, this is right. Traitors keep people that consider them 100% faithful. Just to apply that logic a little bit further. Maybe just apply that logic to Rachel. But no, she doesn't. She just like the dots never connected in the end. And it was a bit frustrating. And like, I like Roxy, but God, that was a frustrating watch.
With Roxy, I felt really sorry for her, actually. I think the worst thing about this game is everybody on the outside thinks it's really easy.
They know better, yeah.
Yeah, and it's not. It's not. All I can say is go play the Traitors Live experience. I'm not even plugging the live experience, but play it and you'll realise how shit you are. You were shit when you were playing the Secret Traitor game, right?
Yeah.
That was the whole point of the Secret Traitors, for people to realise, actually, I'm not great at this game.
Yeah.
But I felt sorry for her because you don't know what it's like when you're there unless you're there. And I think Roxy played a very strong and wrong game, which is probably the best strategy if you're playing it and you know you're playing it. But when you don't know you're playing it,
that's the thing.
It's shit. But
she was strong and wrong, but not intentionally, and that's what was frustrating.
Exactly. And Ivan is the guy that understands strong and wrong. Like not like that, but you know.
Yeah, you are strong and wrong, Ivan.
Well, I'm not strong, but I am wrong. I don't know. I think you're absolutely right that she really wanted to do the thing that people do, which is test their own closest alliances. And so she went to Stephen and she went to Rachel and went, "It's not you, is it?" And they went, "No." And she went, "Okay, phew." And in the end, it's not a story that she'll be proud of, but she was a great person, just not a great player.
And actually, she plays a massive part in our story. And for that, I think, pay some respect to people. A lot of people watch the show online. They think they're great. Like, honestly, on Twitter, what killed me was everyone after the Secret Traitor, like you said, Wilf, everyone was like, "Oh, I knew it was Fiona." And you look at the tweets and they tweeted basically 20 names. They suspected everyone. And then they're acting like, "Yeah, oh, I knew it. I'd be great faithful." Shut up.
The worst thing is when people go, I was in between Fiona, Amanda, and they list off 3 people. I'm like, no, pick one.
Yeah, pick one.
You can't just list loads of people.
There were only 3 options at the end anyway. Get over yourself.
It's like, yeah, I knew it. Yeah, because you saw the editors show you an interview room where the player is saying, "Oh, you should never trust an old lady." Only you saw that, mate. The players don't see that.
Yeah.
But the other faithful, then, the next one I want to mention is Faraz. And see, it's so funny how things turn quickly in this castle, because when I wrote these notes before the final, and I said, Faraz is a bit like a late traitor hunter. Could he finally connect the dots on Rachel and Stephen? And then the remainder of episode 12 is potentially like, I felt for him because he was wrong about every 2 minutes. He managed to move in the wrong direction. And it was fascinating to watch. He just like, but by the time we got to the end game, you just looked concussed. I don't know.
Yeah. Honestly, he had some really good ideas. But then Rachel just put him wrong. Rachel just talked to him and he went, "Okay, it's not you then." Yeah. And in the last episode, I think the thing that really, really typified the Faithful's play breaking down at the end was he and Jack, all they had to do was trust each other and vote together. I know they didn't know they were the only 2 Faithfuls left in the game, but if they had just voted together, they would have forced a 2-2 tie in the final 4. We don't even know what happens in that situation.
I so wanted to know. I was thinking we'd have a tie. I thought that's what the episode's 15 minutes longer. It's going to be a tie. We're going to have like some weird endgame.
But they voted different ways and they let the traitors just take it and steamroll it. And that again was just like, Faraz, just buck up your ideas, mate. Come on, just honestly, you want to do Hajj? You want to do Hajj? You're not going to do Hajj like that, pal.
Bless him. The other faithful then I want to move to is Jack. I think Jack, I just want to mention for one reason. Well, 2, because 1 is incredibly fit, but 2, his eyes in the end game, it's fascinating to me. Like there's a point where you can really see, again, the edit's brilliant. You can see the penny drops when he's like, "Shit, they've left me with Stephen and Rachel. I think I know what's happening there. I'm the idiot." Yeah. It was so funny.
And we talked about the whole, "Why am I here?" So many people went, "Why am I here?" in the last couple of episodes. Why am I here? It's like, because you're not that great, mate.
Someone's keeping me here. I can't be this good and still in the game. You can't be that good, no.
Yeah. Oh, there was so much of it this week. And speaking of people who might have wondered why they were here, but in a good way, James, You know what, James? I enjoy James. I enjoy how funny he is.
I was so upset.
But I've got beef. Yes, people, I have got beef against Studio Lambert, Claudia Winkleman,
Okay.
and Uncloaked. Because yes, James vomits in episode 11. It happens to the best of us. Here's where I have beef. Now, I'll be honest with you, we're recording this at the same time as Uncloaked, so I don't know if this actually made the edit in Uncloaked, but I know from the recording this afternoon that Claudia and Ed said, "Oh, you're the first player who's ever vomited in the history of the Traitors." And I'm like,
What?
no, this is Ryan erasure, and I will not stand for this. Claudia Winkleman, you are nothing without my vomit.
It wasn't even just that you vomited off camera. You vomited on camera.
Yeah. No, I'm honestly, Claudia, I am disappointed in you.
In the first mission, you vomited
In the first episode.
and I was there. Like, you vomited a lot, mate. Like,
Ryan, is it true that you fake vomited once?
So, yes, at one point, I fake vomit. It's when we come out of the round table where we voted out for, like, Nikki, and I want to pretend I was really upset about voting out for Nikki. I'll be honest, I wasn't. I was just pleased it wasn't me. No, because Alex tried to console me, and I was like, "Oh well, I've got to play into it." So I started fake crying and fake throwing up.
You were a fucking
And then
sociopath.
a producer comes to me and asks, "Are you okay, mate?" And I just gave the camera a wink, like, "Yeah."
wait, so Ryan's strategy was vomit and dogs. Vomit and dogs. Fake vomit and dogs. Fake dogs. That's so funny.
Befriend and be vomiting. No, but look, this is all I want to say is please in the comments spread the word. Hashtag no vomit, no profit. Okay.
Hashtag justice for Ryan.
Justice for Ryan.
Claudia, not you. Ed, I knew you. Like I never trusted Ed, but Claudia, not you.
No,
please.
Can't trust Ed.
But look, James, no. There's one thing I want to mention about James and the way he plays it. He makes an incredible argument at the end. It's just a shame it didn't land, but he's just saying, look, if Rachel's a faithful, she would have been murdered a while back because, like, she's guaranteed to be safe from banishment. Nobody's putting any heat on her. She's not going to be banished. She would have been murdered by the time you get to episode 9 or 10, and she hasn't been. So surely something's off here. She must be a traitor. And I think that's possibly the strongest logic you could apply to find a traitor.
Yeah.
If somebody hasn't been banished when they were guaranteed to be banished, you've got to ask yourself, like, surely there must be a traitor then.
Absolutely. Look, she was under suspicion most acutely when Fiona went for her and then when Harriet went for her. If she'd stayed under suspicion every single day rather than being forgiven and moved on, which is basically what happened, then yeah, I understand her not being murdered. But the fact is, people just moved on, and that's why she definitely should have been murdered. James is onto something. If only he'd said it at the time.
Do you remember we talked about like theories being dropped really quickly? And they brought them back up.
Yeah.
And that was really confusing for me. It's like, why have they all of a sudden gone, let's go back to every theory that's happened in the whole game, when they probably could have done better if they followed it up the day after because it's fresh.
Yeah, but I guess, you know what, I kind of liked this about the way they were playing. I like the fact that they were circling back to theories. It's a problem we've had in the past in the Traitors. People focus on one theory and the next day they move on and never come back to it. And Jade was brilliant at this. She would move on, like, a few days would pass, and then she'd be like, actually, hold on, maybe Rachel did give James a dagger to frame him, and actually that takes us back to the cages. She was connecting the dots from several days before, and I love that.
Do you think anybody played the game strong and wrong on purpose? Because that's obviously like a theory that we talk about quite a lot. Do you think anybody did it on purpose? Because there was obviously strong and wrong games there.
Matty was doing it on purpose. He was pulling his punches and going for the wrong people. He knew Stephen was a traitor, but didn't go for Stephen because he wanted to get recruited. But not for the reason we were saying, not to avoid murder. So I don't know.
I think Matty was pretty good at that, yeah.
Yeah.
But I guess Matty shows that strong and wrong only takes you so far, actually. If you're too strong and too wrong, eventually people are just going to come from the round table. And that was a shame. Yeah. I think Matty deserved a slightly longer run. If he had made the endgame, I think we'd have seen a very different endgame.
Nope.
No?
You disagree?
I just think the whole... I get the whole wanting to be recruited strategy, but
that was wrong. Yeah, that was awful.
Yeah, it wasn't great.
That didn't work. There is one criticism I have of the way the game approaches ties at the round table. We, quite surprisingly, we saw it twice this season. The chest of chance we're back again. And I just think they could do this in a better way. In a way, it's a little bit like sort of it's just not very satisfying. I guess it could have been satisfying if Rachel had gone because it would have completely upended the game. But somebody suggested this in our YouTube comment. FTMML7995, very easy username to read out, suggested,
Catchy.
how about Carrot in a Box? And I thought, you know what? Yes, that'd be amazing. Play Carrot in a Box there and then at a round table.
Carrot in a box.
Carrot in a Box.
Explain that to me.
Carrot in a Box it's a 2-player social deduction game. You have 2 boxes and one of them has a carrot in it. One person gets to open their box and then has a minute or two to convince the other player where the carrot actually is. And the person with the carrot in a box loses. So it's just a really simple bluffing game, perfect for traitors.
Yeah. And that'd be brilliant, both because 1, it's great for the traitors, 2, it's quite a short one, and 3, like, again, people at the round table can learn something from that. They can see, oh, actually, you're a great liar if you win this. I would have enjoyed this so much. And like, I think if we're going to see the Chest of Trons come back again, the producers really need to workshop that. We could have a better role than that, because it can be a bit frustrating.
And 4, carrots help you see in the dark, so you're able to catch murderers better. Obviously, It helps you be a good faithful.
Yes.
There's another option, which is the Survivor. When they get a tie in Survivor, they do a revote, just like traitors. If they fail to get a majority in the second vote, then it switches on the players. You failed to find a majority. You failed as a democratic party. So instead, you're all liable to be evicted. Everyone pick a stone, and it's random which of you get sent home.
Oh my God, that's so good.
Yeah.
So
that's so
the
cruel.
great thing about it is cruel. It's still random, but it pulls the randomness as a punishment for not being a good enough majority finding unit, which I think is really fun.
I love that.
It's just as unfair, but it's got a kind of sickness to it, which I think is quite great.
Yeah, fair enough. I feel like Claudia's not cruel enough for this. Alan, he probably wouldn't go for it. Claudia, she would never.
I've got one thing I'd like to say before we move on to the Jaggies.
Yeah, sure. Before we move on to our Jaggies, our little awards ceremony, Ivan, the floor is yours.
Any other business for me is this thing about having a strong team of 2 traitors. There have been no recruitments in this series, and there were no recruitments in the Traitors Celebrities episode, the UK Celebrity Traitors as well.
Yes.
In this season, though, I just want to draw your attention to how quickly they got down to 2, and then they said, every time they were offered to recruit by seduction, they said, no, because they know, just as we know, my friends, that the strongest team of traitors is a team of 2. They trusted each other. It worked. They got to the end. And if anyone here is applying to be on the show and on the show, please listen to us.
Should have been one of your predictions then, shouldn't it?
It was!
It was it?
Yes!
Oh,
I said 2 traitors would win the series.
Did you? Oh, yes! We can't go into that yet.
We'll get there. But I guess that just begs the question for me. Do you think recruitment is dead? Because now we've had 2 series that actually highlight that the best way forward as a traitor is to start as a traitor and go as far as possible. And as long as you can avoid it, do not recruit, because you're just adding chaos into the mix like series 2 did.
Yeah, I think in terms of your own safety and sanity, actually, because when you're a traitor, it's really important to like have somebody else as a human being there is important. As long as you know they're not as powerful than you in terms of the social aspect of the game.
That power imbalance and that paranoia is when that 2 thing starts to break.
Yeah.
Like, we can say, we're armchair here. We can say from this outsider's perspective, 2's the best number. But Will was there, and Will went, I don't trust her, and I'll swap her for someone else. Remember, you're going to get 2 back, right? If I banish Amanda and then get to recruit someone else, I get back to 2. Equally, if I recruit a 3rd one and then banish the original one, I'm still down to 2. So you might think, well, I'll change the numbers of traitors so I can get to the perfect 2. But that temptation could lead in other directions. And by now we think hiring a sacrificial goat doesn't work that well either. So
yeah, no, that's fair enough. Shall we move on then to our very own award ceremony, the Jaggies?
Okay, here we go then. It is time for our annual Jaggies Awards. The red carpet's been rolled out. The paparazzi are out in force. We've hired a swanky cinema. Along comes a great big limousine, and out steps an enormous owl in a suit with a pair of glasses on, who raises his microphone and says, Who will you... Oh, lovely. We've got flashes now as well. Yes. Who will you pick for the Jaggies? And the owl is then hit by a car and dies. But we all turn up, and we're going to give out our special awards that we always give out at the end of a Traitors season. But our first award as always, is the Maddie Marple Award for Best Detective. Here's how it works. We all say who we want to win. If there's a majority, that person wins. If not, we discuss it a bit longer and then award it to somebody. Who wants to start me off? Maddie Marple Award.
I'll happily start with that because I'm very disappointed because we wrote this before the final, but Faraz was my Maddie Marple Award.
Oh!
No.
But if I can change it because I've already written it, I would go for Harriet.
It's Harriet, isn't it?
No, I'm going to disagree there. I went for Jade. Look, I know Jade, it can be controversial. Jade had some ups and downs, but she has some really good moments.
Controversial?
Look, I just love the moments when she's like sort of circle backs, when she looks back and thinks of, like, you know what, never mind. Okay, let's go for Harriet.
No, Harriet was part of the three who got rid of Hugo, and then Harriet was there as well to get rid of Fiona. Like, Harriet's great. And then she got Rachel. Harriet's great. It's Harriet.
Did you just get bullied out of your hole?
Yeah, I did.
If you're not watching on YouTube, you need to watch on YouTube just to see me and Wilf just make the most outraged faces in the world.
What the fuck, bro?
Jade, I'm so sorry. I did not stand for this. I love you.
Oh, no, Jade's great, but she's not the Maddie Marple. Mother of the season. For me, this one's Amanda. There were a lot of people who tried to be mother, but only one person was mother, and it was Amanda.
Okay, I'm going to be controversial again. I feel like we're not going to get along today. I think for me, it's Rachel. Look, not in like that such a camp way, but she was just having like so much like slightly evil fun with a bit of flair and everything. I think Rachel might be the mother of the season. Also, she kept mentioning her kids and doing this for her kids, so you know, it's a mother.
Literal mother.
Mother of the season was Amanda to me, for me, because just the whole, listen, she sat there and went, I'm not with Hugo, I'm a lesbian. Yeah, she's mother for me.
Will we give an award to somebody who's not Amanda? Find out after the break.
We gave the first one to Harriet, Ryan.
Did we?
We gave the first one to Harriet, yeah.
Oh, never mind. Cut this out. It would have been such a good joke. Yeah. Okay, let's move on.
The Bad Edit Award. Who was depicted most negatively? Remember, this is not about who was the worst person or the worst player, but who got the worst cut on the editing room floor.
And can I preface this with just saying that actually, like, we love them all.
Oh, yeah,
of
course. Yeah.
Beautiful cast, incredible cast. And a lot of people forget, as they do every year, and we haven't reminded them this season, it's just a game.
Oh, 100%.
It's just a game. You're just seeing people play a game and having fun and, like, just, like, stop being mean. Stop being meanies, okay?
Yeah, don't be dickheads, bruv.
But let's be dickheads for a bit.
So my Bad Edit Award goes to Adam.
Oh.
He lasted really long in the game and didn't really get to show who he was as a person.
Adam, yeah. Ryan?
I don't agree. I think it has to be Roxy, surely. Like we've been in this castle, we know, like at some point in a MIV, you end up naming basically everyone at one point. And I feel like the edit just spent a lot of time focusing on how she was always getting the wrong people. Like the edit was trying to show her as like the most like sort of useless faithful. And I feel like she can't have been that bad. She can't have been that great either, but she can't have been that bad.
I'm going to throw a spanner in the works here because my vote is for Hugo. I didn't catch the. I just didn't. well, all right, fine, Will. Okay, fine. It's Foxy. No, I didn't end up with the time he spent on the show. I didn't end up really like liking him enough, and I just felt like his jokes weren't given the right ability to land
because they probably weren't funny, mate.
Well, fine. So we got a bad edit.
Yeah. Okay. Fair enough. I am going to lean towards more of Ryan's actually.
Okay,
Roxy, it is.
Congratulations to Roxy. You win the Bad Edit Award this year. Now, the Prestige Award for the best last line. I had a different line until tonight.
Yeah.
Because I think I'm a Faithful was fantastic from James. I really enjoyed the energy with which he delivered it. So that's my vote.
I think so. I have to agree. For a second, I was going to go for Hugo, which I'm sure you'll disagree with now. But you know what? Let's go. I think I've got to be on your side now and go for James.
I'm a traitor! I love that. I'm sorry. I thought that was better than any speech that happened.
Yeah.
Well, you've been outvoted because James gets the vote there. Congratulations, James. The next award has been slightly upgraded. Oh. It's no longer just the Red Breakfast Club award. It's the Red Breakfast Club membership. You get membership to a special club now if you win this award for best moment. What have we got for the best moment of the series?
I've only got 18 words to say. The benefit is to say the cat amongst the pigeons, Roxy. This is all I have to say.
But that's my best quote. That's a quote. That's the best.
That's a quote. You can't use that, bro.
No, because that created so much chaos after that. Like,
I will not vote for that for this one, because for me, it's Fiona and Rachel implode. Early in the season, absolute scenes. I screamed the way that they had that conversation, and Fiona was like, it can't be true because I am her best friend. It was so good.
Yeah.
Fiona and Rachel implode is my absolute one.
Fair enough.
I didn't put implode. I put
Explode.
I put cat amongst the pigeons. No, I'm joking. I didn't put implode, but I put Fiona and Rachel's feud. That's what I put.
So 2-1, Ryan, you're outvoted there. Congratulations to Fiona and Rachel, who gained membership to the Red Breakfast Club. Best strategic move of the season.
That's, you know what? I don't really have one.
I'm going to go first. I'm sorry about this. I'm going to say every single fucking move Rachel made was better than most things I've ever seen. Like, I can't explain it. We talked about it. Her social clout was ridiculous, and it still was ridiculous. Like, to the point where I was like, there's nobody can go against her. So I can't give one example of Rachel, but just her strategic moves through the whole series were so far better than anybody that's been on the Traitors, in my opinion.
I completely agree.
Yeah, I'm with you there.
So I think we need to look for a specific moment, and I've actually got two. First one is giving James the dagger, and the second one is murdering Jesse. Both of these worked out the way they wanted them to. They called their shot and they got it. But giving James the dagger and then saying, and he will vote twice for Matty, and he did and got rid of Matty, was so good.
I think that's the move.
I think James was the move because they got rid of they got rid of him, and it implicated multiple people after that weren't them. So I agree.
All right, congratulations to Rachel Rachel and Stephen for giving James the dagger. Right, now we're on to the Spurber Were Award for Best Quote. And Ryan, take it away. I want to hear it a second time.
I've got 18 words to say. The benefit is to set the cat amongst the pigeons, Roxy. That is all I have to say.
Wait,
No, I was just going to say it's the seriousness within. She said she went out in the press afterwards and said, "I'm really sorry. I don't know what came over me." She didn't mean to be like that, but the face, terrifying face. Set a cat amongst the pigeons, Roxy.
The pigeons,
so good.
People are making TikTok sounds with it, with "Brat" by Charlie XCX in the background. It's beautiful.
Go on. So, what's yours, Ivan?
That's it. That's what I put it in capital letters. Yeah.
Do you have 18 words to say?
No, I have a different one. I have. Somebody went against Faraz and then said, "Sorry about that." And he went, "It's fine. You can do it." Not asked, truth. Just not asked. At the round table, he went, "Yeah, whatever. Yeah, I'm not asked."
Not asked.
I thought it's fucking amazing.
Can I give an honourable mention to James, who has two absolute bangers this week? The first one is, at one point, he does the joke we've been making all the time. We're like, "Oh, I'd be great at catching traitors because my job is this." He says, "Hey, I get paid to plant seeds for a living."
Yeah.
Because he's a gardener, and that's brilliant. The other one is, as they're getting to the cast for the mission, he just goes, "Okay, traitors sit in the front," so casually. And I found this so funny. I
think you and James are going to be best friends. You're going to get on so well.
Yeah.
Well, congratulations to Harriet Tice for her win in the Spurber Were Award, which may have to be renamed the Cat Amongst the Pigeons Award. We will see.
Yeah.
Mission of the season. This one's always interesting. What was your favourite mission?
I'm just going to go purely on entertainment value. I enjoyed the cabin in the wood. That's it. I just thought it was fun, and it gave us this crazy moment where Matty just goes, "No, I'm taking the shield. Fuck off, everybody."
Is that the cabin that Claudia says that's never been renovated, but it's always different every year?
Oh, that's a really good point.
Yeah.
I put stacking skulls because I thought it had the most impact in the game, but I'm happy to be wrong here. I wasn't blown away by it.
I put the episode 11 hill mission. The reason being because I think it was one of the first missions we've seen where people can actually just do something where there weren't, in my mind, it was like, no, go get a shield or go do this. They could just do a mission.
And it was the first mission in the Traitors where somebody vomited.
First ever time.
Yeah.
I love the way you say it, Anne. Say again.
And it was the first time when somebody vomited. Yeehaw.
So who are we going to give it to here? Because we've all got different opinions. I'll retract on mine. I don't have a strong enough opinion about this.
Yeah, I'll take it.
I'm sticking with the cabin in the woods.
It was very funny, especially for the bit where Stephen was like, "Ah, are they okay?" And Claudia was like, "Nah, they're dead." That was great. Really, really great. Congratulations to a cabin. Now, the big 3 awards. Faithful of the season. Who are we giving this to? Who was our favourite faithful of the entire season?
I'll kick this off then. For me, Jessie, just for the fact that she wouldn't let a theory go, always sticking on a certain theory and a certain thing that she had. So she, for me, was the faithful of the season.
Rayan?
I'm tempted to go for Jessie, but I might just... Basically, anyone whose name starts in J this season, so except Jack, actually. So Jessie, James, or Jade, I really enjoyed all of them. If I have to pick one, I'm going to go for Jade. I'm sorry, I stand by Jade. I enjoyed her gameplay.
Jade was fantastic, but my vote's for Jessie. She was so likeable. Every time she was on the screen, I just wanted to watch what she was doing.
Yeah, fair.
And I just think she lit up the series. She was much needed light in quite an intense series. So congratulations go to Jessie, our faithful of the season. Now,
Oi, oi!
our traitor of the season.
Surely there can only be one.
Do we even need to have this discussion? I mean,
No.
Stephen was great, but it's all about Rachel here, isn't it?
Oh, it's Rachel. Yeah, it's Rachel. Yeah.
But actually, you know what? I kind of want to give him to Steven because Steven played the game in possibly the most beautiful way. He had every opportunity to backstab, to be greedy, to take all of the money. And every time he stuck by his promise. And he's such a beautiful soul. And I love Steven. So actually, no, I want to give it to Steven.
I think Rachel, the reason being is that she was able to go for faithfuls and get them out.
Yeah.
I think she had such social clout. And there was times in the game where I went, she cannot win. She can't win now because there's too much on her. There's too much heat on her. And she went on and did it.
The number of times she managed to instill confidence in those around her and keep herself in the game, the number of bullets she dodged, the number of, as you say, number of episodes where you went, well, she's done for. I know that her survival into the final 5 was down to a coin flip, but that still doesn't take away from how well she played. If she hadn't won and Stephen had, we'd be giving this to Stephen. But the fact is, she won despite everything. Rachel is not just the best traitor in this series. She's the best traitor we've ever seen on the show.
I believe that.
Yeah.
100%.
And I said that about Alan Carr. Alan's got nothing on her.
I'm very, very confident in my way of arguing at the table. And I said to Yoda, I think if I went against Rachel, I'd probably lose. And that meant a lot. You know, that meant a lot because I can fight my own corner, but against Rachel, I think I'd struggle.
She just had this aura.
So congratulations to Rachel, traitor of the season.
Congratulations, Rachel.
No question. Which brings us to the Mystic Meg from Season 2 award for the host who picked the winner. Now, so at the beginning of the season, we all drafted our winners as part of the Snazzy Kebab Granules game.
Oh, yeah, I won. I won.
You didn't win. Wilf, you drafted Rachel. Oh, yeah, you did. Yeah. And I drafted Stephen. So we both win that one. All we know is that Rayan loses this one. So congratulations, Wilf, to you and me. We get to shake hands and share the prize halfway. Which brings us, of course, to the Snazzy Kebab Granules results.
Yeah.
This is a big award now. We spent the entire season predicting it. And let me fill you in on some quite incredible outcomes. So first of all, we made 4 predictions each, totaling 12 predictions. And after all of these came to pass or didn't come to pass, Rayan, you had a base score of 7. Wilf, you had a base score of 7. And Ivan, I had a base score of 7.
Fucking hell.
Bring out the chest of charms.
Rayan, you had such a lead. As we know, Wilf and I both picked a winner, so we both get an extra point, meaning Wilf, I'm on 8. So Wilf's on 8, Ivan is on 8. We also know that Wilf picked the secret traitor, Fiona, putting him on 9 points. I am still on 8, and Rayan is on 7. But last week, under Ryan's insistence, we also picked another player who we thought might win, and Wilf picked Stephen. So Wilf has both winners in his slate, and with 10 points, Wilf, you are the winner of this season's Snazzy Kebab Granules. Congratulations, mate. What a rush.
Can I do a speech? I just want to thank I just want to thank my agent Adam because this I just want to thank my agent Adam. I want to thank Rayan and Ivan for taking time out their day.
Can you hear this behind you? It's like the Oscars when you go on too long and start putting the music so loud that people can hear you.
anyway, yeah. Yeah, it was good. It was good. Thank you.
That's your first ever win. Congratulations, you've never won the predictions game before, so well done, which leaves us just one final award, the Lifetime Achievement Award.
Are we giving one?
Yeah.
Well, I'd like to give a Lifetime Achievement Award to the person who sets the lovely crackling fires in the living room. They're always so perfect, and I just think that person deserves a Lifetime Achievement Award.
Okay, I'll follow you there.
I'm not going to follow it. No. I'm going to go for David Gordon. David Gordon was the welfare manager, and when I message him, and he's just the loveliest person in the world.
He's just so nice.
And he has always been there for me, and he's like, even 3 years after the show.
Let's say this then. David, if you're listening, text one of us to tell us to confirm that you were the one who set the lovely crackling fires and the Lifetime Achievement Award is yours. And if you don't, then make sure that you just promise to do that for next season and the award is yours.
Can we just say a massive good luck to Saida, who will be moving on from this season of The Traitors. She's been a big fan of our podcast, and she don't even need to listen to our podcast. She's so powerful and so beautiful, and she's helped me. She's helped all of us, I think, at some point of in our lives. So I really want to say good luck to her next endeavour.
And on that note, I think that's it for a preview of the Traitors UK.
Preview?
Yeah, or review even of the Traitors UK.
There's another one!
Is it? No, but look, I'm going to finish the episode in a way that I think is only fitting of how Stasi Kebab Granules went for me. I started at the top and I bottled it. So let me put on my Arsenal scarf as I finish this episode.
Well, while you're putting that on, Ryan, I've got a little plug of my own. Many of you will have listened to and enjoyed our coverage of Survivor UK 2 or 3 years ago. I listened back. They are very funny episodes. If you want a little Survivor fix, go back and watch Survivor UK on iPlayer and then listen to our podcasts. The reason why I'm bringing this up is because in 1 month's time, it is going to be the 50th season of Survivor in America. This is an enormous, enormous event. Survivor is the show that started it all. It is probably why The Traitors exists now. It is a massive, massive show. And I can now reveal that we will be covering every single episode on It's Just a Game. We've got some really, really exciting new format points to come up with. And the first episode is going to be trying to convince you, the listeners, and you, Wilf, and you, Ryan, to actually watch the damn thing. So the entire pitch of us covering this season is, if you're not a big Survivor fan, if you've never seen it before, if you never even know how you would watch it, listen to the episode that comes out in 2 weeks' time and decide for yourselves.
We are the podcast where we watch reality TV so you don't have to. And so we'll be back very soon. In the meantime, if you like this podcast, please subscribe on your favourite podcast app. Follow us on Instagram. Give us a 5-star review on Spotify. Like, comment. And can I just say, last week I finished the episode saying the usual like and comment and subscribe. And I said, leave some love declarations. And somebody finally listened to me into that bit of the podcast. So thank you to kind of a big deal one on YouTube who said, and I quote, Ryan looking more and more snatched every time he's on my screen. Thank you. I love you. If you haven't gone and liked this comment, anyone who's listening, go back and like this comment. Otherwise, shame on you.
I will.
Anyway, thank you for listening. And until next time, my name is Ryan, and you can follow me at I have 18 words to say. The benefit is to say the cat amongst the pigeons, Roxy. This is all I have to say.
My name's Will, and I'm trying to contain the massive party that's going on in the other room.
My name's Ivan, and you can follow me at Kind of a Big Deal 1 on YouTube.
And from us here, see you very soon, and goodbye.
Driver!
Bye-bye, driver!